Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning. I would like to talk about a change of God. A change of God. Uh, I think by now everybody knows on this planet that Queen Elizabeth of England passed away about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember the date. And yeah, she passed away. First of all, the date that we were given was not the right date. She passed away before that. She passed away before that. But that's not the topic of my video today. I would like to talk about the change of God. We all heard about the Berlin Conference from 1884 to 1885. It lasted more or less for a whole year, and we had 14 countries that were there, and some were observers, such as the United States. They were just observers, but they were there. And of course, England was there. And when Elizabeth became queen, I believe she was 23 years old. She was a young woman. Her father, George VI, passed away, and she became queen. And I don't even know how to say this. So many rituals. First of all, the Berlin Conference, I think I've already made a couple of videos about it. The Berlin Conference was a Masonic conference. They sat and divided the continent of Africa among themselves without ever having set foot on the continent. They changed names of mountains, of rivers, of valleys, of places. They created countries with a map that's how they divided it. They didn't care to know who gets along with whom. Like in my country, I am from Katanga, and we have these neighbors from Kasai. We don't get along, and yet we were put in the same place. So we have a continual flow of problems coming from that proximity, and that's only in the Congo. So if you go in other countries, you are going to find pockets of people who don't get along, and that's why we have tribal warfare. It comes from there. They planned and they put in motion a program for us. These were thought of evil and not of peace. They they put parameters, like they can only do this, they can only go here, they can only become this, they cannot do this, they cannot do that. And I heard this brother that I really admire, Julius Malema from South Africa. I'm going to research and do a video about it. He talked about a king in South Africa that was beheaded by the British. They killed him, took parts of his body, especially the skull, the head, and took it back to England. For what? I heard about this other king in Kenya who was killed the same way. And then my great-grandfather, King Musiri, who was beheaded also. I heard about King Luzinga in Katanga, who was beheaded also. So it seems to me that they came and they took heads of warriors, placed the warriors as God all around us. So we are here and the warriors are here, and they are the one holding us back. We cannot go, we cannot evolve. By taking the head, they took our heads. By taking the head, you can take the eyes, so I make you blind. I can nail your tongue on a wooden plate, so you cannot talk. They did that. They did that to us through our ancestors. And I'm not joking. These are things that I did, that I had to undo, that I had to fast for and to fast about. It took me I've been doing this for 4 years, just about the heads and the skulls of our kings. So it's a lengthy topic, but more than that, it's something that was done, like in my case, in 1891. So it's been 130 years that my ancestor skull is still in Europe. They took his skull, they took his heart, they took his pinky on the right hand, and then his genitals. Why will you do that? Why? How many times can you kill a human being? What is the purpose of taking those bodily parts? That's what you call a satanic ritual, right? That's how through them they were able to destroy Africa. Okay, so we have a change of guard. The old school, and Elizabeth was the last one. She embodied evil, evil as seen by an African person. So I didn't cry when I heard that she died. I was indifferent because death is death. My turn will come too. We all have a day that is appointed by the Most High. I was not sorry. I sat and I say, oh my, I don't want to be in her shoes right now. When she was alive, I really admired those pearls and those jewelries. I wish I could see a jewelry box or boxes. She had treasures that were beyond, estimate. I mean, it was hard to place an estimate of value. Some of them were stolen from Africa, India, taken by force. From Sri Lanka, those beautiful gems from Ceylon, they used to call it. But when she was alive, I admired her jewelries. I'm a jewelry designer, so a gemologist. But when she passed away, I was like, I don't want to be in her shoes because she is not in a good place. She cannot be in a good place, she cannot. And it really made me sad when I see pastors who are saying, oh, Queen Elizabeth, God bless you, she served Jesus and she's going to Jesus, okay? And then saying, I understood better God's kingdom through her by watching her ruling the kingdom. I was like, but as an African woman, I don't have any positive feelings about her because of the name, the very chair, the throne where she sat, and what was done to us. And you could go to India, talk to them. You could go to Sri Lanka, talk to them. You could go to Yemen, to Iran, Iraq. You could go to Korea. The North and South partition, ask them what England did to them. So we all have an opinion. Some were crying. I respect that. People stood in line for hours to pay their homage and respect. I respect that. She is your queen. Go do what you have to do. But she was not mine. So don't ask me to feel like you or to to have the same opinion. To each his own. So having said that, with her passing, there was a change of guard. King Charles is not even half of what his mother was spiritually. I'm talking about the power, the spiritual fortitude. They tried. I had a vision the day, first of all, when they started, they announced that, all she passed away in Balmoral, and then they would take her, do this, do that. I didn't watch it. I didn't even turn on the TV. The Holy Spirit told me, don't watch it. And when they would bury her, don't watch it. And then when they would do Charles' coronation, don't watch it either. So I didn't. When I would turn on the computer, I would see pictures like that, but I didn't sit for hours and cry or watch or whatever. No, I didn't. And then I was amazed. I saw in the news that the coffin was 13 feet. This is a woman who was less than 5 feet because she was 96 years old. All of us will become shorter as we age. And I was like, who is in that coffin? Why a big coffin like that, 13 feet? For a pint-sized woman, Those are questions that made me think. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then that night, when Charles, the night before Charles' coronation, I had a vision that I was standing in the Mediterranean Sea by Morocco on the shore. In reality, I've never been there, but in the vision, I was there and I knew where I was. I had my feet in the water, up to my ankles, and I saw something coming, something that made my ears like when you're in a plane and you are having a bad storm, something like that. It was like a tsunami, something lifting up and coming, but white, really white like paper, but evil. And it was very, I don't know how to describe it, but it was coming. And I said, what is that? There was a person next to me, I don't know who it was, but he was a friend. The person told me, it said, that's coming from England. I was like, what is that? He said, that's the plan that they are preparing for Africa, so that Africa is going to be under Charles for 100 years. I was like, oh no. I cannot do that. I cannot allow that. And the person told me, he said, that's why you're here. So repeat after me. I repeated what I was told. And that thing fell like, when you put, those pills, those vitamins, they are bubbly, you put them in the water and the way they fizz. It just fell in the water and was absorbed by the water. And they told me, now there is a change of God. What Africa was, Africa is no longer. Those who are standing and saying that they are the owner of Africa, they are the one leading Africa, they are the one ruling over Africa, it's over. There is a change of God. Oof! I started jumping up and down of joy, and I was really happy. So I announced a change of God. I announced freedom for Africa. I announced change. It's Africa's turn. We started with Africa, we are ending with Africa. And you are going to see a rise. You are going to see people running to Africa for one reason or another. People trying to evangelize for their God, their demons, God with a small g, as many Africans as they can. We are going to see people moving and migrating to Africa because the land is shining. The land is clean, spiritually speaking, and suitable for growth. That goodness that God placed in the land has come up on top. And so it's Africans' time. African people, be careful, don't intermarry with people from other ethnicity too much. There is a need of a pocket of black dad, black mom. We need that. But we arrive to a place where melanin is going to be in high demand by any means necessary. Whatever you do, if you can get it by laying down with a black man and producing a brown baby, do that. Some are going to do, many are going to do. If you can kidnap someone and extract melanin in a scientific way and take the organs and for satanic altars or for transplantation, people are going to do that too. So it's Africa's time, but we need to do it in a godly way and be sensitive to the Spirit of God. That's where we are, and that's what is happening. There is a change of God. So there are things that we cannot do anymore on the continent of Africa. There are things that we cannot allow anymore on the continent of Africa being done to black people. Times have changed. And the tide has turned, and we are coming full circle. So it's Africa's time.